Is there a point in making new games anymore? This is a question I have been thinking a lot about this past week. Blizzard Entertainment just announced that they are remastering Starcraft. People Can Fly announced last year that they are remastering Bulletstorm. Full Throttle is getting remastered. Last year Sony walked up on stage and make a big deal about finally remastering Crash Bandicoot Trilogy. PaRappa the Rapper 2 is getting a remaster. Now I want to say I love these games and I think remastering old game is a great way to bring it to new audience and allow old timers to go back and revisit those games that we used to play. However, when is it too much? Where's the point where you are remastering and releasing more old game than making new one? I know that sounds absurd, right? Of course, what kind of publisher would stop making new game altogether just to release old games? Well, I beg to differ. To realize how much of a shit show remastering old game can be, we need look no further than with Capcom. Just to prove my point, I'm going to go through the list of games Capcom released last year and point out whether each of these games are new or old games. Capcom released 20 games and 2 DLC in 2016. So I'll be going through the list and tally up the number of old and new games they have released. The first game they released last year is Dragon Dogma Dark Arisen for PC, which is an old game. Then they released Resident Evil Origin Collection for PS4 and Xbox One, which is also an old game. Resident Evil 0 HD Remaster come next for Xbox 360, Xbox One, PC, PS4 and PS3, which is an old game. Breath of Fire 3 come out for... Are we getting this right? PSP? Are you for real? In 2016? On Wikipedia? It is? Okay, it is. It is on PSP. They released game on PSP last year. Oh, and it's also an old game as well. Street Fighter V for PS4 and PC, which is a new game. Mega Man Legacy Collection for 3DS, which is an old game. It's actually a port of an old game, which is a remaster of an old game, which is kind of funny, you know, because like Mega Man Legacy Collection is a collection of old game, but they ported to 3DS, which make it a port of game. So it's a remaster of a remaster of a list of Mega Man game. Resident Evil 6 for Xbox One and PS4, which is an old game. Umbrella Corps for PC and PS4, which unfortunately is a new game. Resident Evil 5 for Xbox One and PS4, an old game. Street Fighter V A Shadow Fall for PC and PS4, a new DLC for Street Fighter V. Monster Hunter Generation for 3DS, a new game. Street Fighter Puzzle Spirit for iOS, which is a new iOS game, I guess. Resident Evil 4 for Xbox One and PS4, which is an old game. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice for 3DS, a new game. Dead Rising 2, Dead Rising 2 Off the Record, all which are for PC, PS4 and Xbox One, and all of them are old games. They also released Dead Rising Triple Pack for PS4, Xbox One and PC as well, which is pretty much a bundle of old games. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice Turnabout Time Traveler for 3DS is a new DLC for Spirit of Justice. Apollo Justice Ace Attorney for iOS is an old game. Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 got released on PS4, which is an old game. Dead Rising 4 for PC and Xbox One is actually a new game. To sum that up, that's 3 new console and PC games, which include Street Fighter V, Umbrella Corp, and Dead Rising 4. 2 new 3DS games, Monster Hunter Generation and Spirit of Justice. 1 new iOS game, Street Fighter Puzzle Spirit. 2 new DLC, A Shadow Fall for Street Fighter V and Turnabout Time Traveler for Spirit of Justice. That's a total of 6 new games, 1 of which is a mobile game, and 2 new DLC over the course of a year. 14 other games Capcom released in 2016 are all old games. That's pretty insane. Excluding the mobile game that is Puzzle Spirit, which is just another match 3 game. Capcom released 5 new games last year, which include Umbrella Corp, which is a garbage game and it sells poorly because of that. Street Fighter V was broken on launch with poor marketing, hence there is massive backlash on the game resulting in poor sales number and poor critical reception. Dead Rising 4 dumbed down a lot of the gameplay mechanic as well as releasing the game on a much smaller platform like Xbox One and Windows Store. This is practically shooting itself in the foot, resulting in bad sale number as well. Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice is only the odd one out, but mainly because of how unique that type of game really is. The only new game that continues to sell is Monster Hunter Generation because, well, it's another Monster Hunter game. That's 5 games, 1 of which is completely garbage, 2 of which is kinda meh, and the other 2 are great, but only 1 of those 2 is financially successful. And this kinda brings me back to the statement I made earlier. Is there a point in making new game anymore when you can make more money from remastering old game?